Scholar warns feminism has become a megachurch, replacing faith, family, and Christian virtue. Carrie Gress argues the movement functions as a secular megachurch targeting women with false promises. And what have I said throughout the entire history of my channel? Feminism is the same thing as woke. Feminism is the original woke movement, and woke is a secular religion. Those are three things that I've said here, and apparently Carrie Gress recognizes the brilliance of anti-woke warrior. Let's see here. Let's dive into this article. Now, this is just published a couple days ago, so if you're watching this on Thursday when I release it, it's not very old at all. Now, she's an author of 11 books, including an upcoming title on feminism, says the movement has evolved into a kind of secular megachurch with its own doctrines, rituals, and moral code, one that she argues now serves as a substitute for faith, family, and traditional Christian virtue. Feminism actually is not a subset of Christianity. Do you think? Where did that come from? Who ever thought that feminism was a subset of Christianity? Christianity, a religion, like almost every other religion, that says women are second-class citizens, basically. I mean, it doesn't. I don't think it actually comes out and says that, but, it says women are to be subservient. And it's compared to the old original religions where women were worshipped as gods on earth, believe it or not. Guess what happened when we stopped doing that? Technology exploded. It's actually a rival to Christianity. Yes, it is a rival to Christianity. It's a rival to everything that is traditional. Carrie Gress, a fellow at the Institute of Human Ecology at Catholic University of America, told Fox News Digital. Gress is the author of a forthcoming book, Something Wicked, Why Feminism Can't Be Fused with Christianity, which she says examines how feminism has quietly captured the minds and hearts of women by mimicking aspects of Christianity through its own commandments, virtues, evangelization, and even a sacrament. Feminism has become an exceedingly powerful megachurch. I am curious what the commandments, virtues, evangelization, and sacrament are. What are the commandments? All men must be exterminated. Virtues? All men must be exterminated. Evangelization, we must exterminate all men. And sacrament, the blood of men. I don't know. I don't know what these things are going to be. Maybe we could find out if we read the rest of the article. Before we do, though, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed because YouTube doesn't subscribe people. You can click on that like button. It only takes a second. You can just click the bell for notifications. You can find me over on Rumble and on Twitter. In many respects, it can actually be seen as a megachurch, Gress told Fox News Digital. It has taken on so many of the aspects of Christianity. According to Gress, feminism was designed from its earliest roots as a substitute belief system, one she says is fundamentally incompatible with Christianity. Well, yeah, we already talked about why, because women are second-class citizens in Christianity, men are supposed to be the heads, the leaders of things. This is kind of how it works. And you can say, well, anti-war warrior, doesn't that fly in the face of what you say? There was no patriarchy. There was never a patriarchy. Okay, having men be in charge is not a patriarchy. Having men be in control of everything is a patriarchy, right? There's a big difference there. The notion that men should be in charge and the men should be the breadwinners is a way of leveling the playing field. Why? Because women have all of the power. We see that now. What do women have? They have they can get whatever they want. Because we've said we've opened up the doors to politics, the doors to economics. You can go out there and do whatever you want to do. Oh, you want to bang 1,000 men? Okay, Bunny Blue, go right ahead. It's fine. We don't care. You get whatever you want. You want to make $1 million while you're banging those 1,000 men? Okay, great. Go ahead and do it. You want to run for office too? Okay, great. Go ahead and do it. We give you everything. So there's no reason for Bonnie Blue to sit down and go, you know what? I want to sleep around. I have slept around a little bit. I'd like to sleep around a lot more, but no man is going to take me and support me, and I can't earn a living sleeping around like this unless I become a prostitute, which is illegal, immoral, and dangerous. So maybe we should find a good man to settle down with. Level the playing field. These people don't realize it. They're so stupid. I don't know about this. This Gress person probably does realize it, but so many people argue that I'm just an idiot. Feminism has its own sacraments, virtues, rights, evangelization, all of that. The simplest example is to look at what I call the commandments of feminism, Gress said. There are 3 of them, and they started actually back in the early 1800s. I said this, it started in the 1800s. She added, Percy Bysshe Shelley, husband of the Frankenstein author Mary Shelley, is the romantic poet who actually put them together. Okay, I gotta say this before we move on. If you have not read the book Frankenstein, don't. It's terrible. These ideas of his in-laws, his mother-in-law, Mary Wollstonecraft, and his father-in-law, William Godwin, and then his own idea. And these ideas were to have contempt for men, to really shun monogamy, and to embrace promiscuity, and then to be involved in the occult. And those are sort of the 3 tenets of feminism. So those are the 3 commandments. Contempt for men, obviously, that's a given one. Okay, to embrace promiscuity, okay. Involvement in the occult, I haven't ever really associated feminism with the occult. I don't know what that's all about. Mary Shelley, I could see her wanting to be part of the occult. Now, what I said a moment ago was Frankenstein, the book, is not good. It is just not. It's really boring. If you want to read that book, go ahead, but just be prepared. You're going to be bored. The movies are much better. So watch the movies. You'll actually have some entertainment, but the book's terrible. Not surprising, coming from a feminist. Gress's argument echoes earlier reporting and scholarship that have explored similar themes. A 2015 article in The Atlantic entitled "When Feminism Becomes a Religion" stated the feminist movement today has startling similarities to religious fundamentalism. There is the same dogmatism, the same zealous fervor, the same fear, the same clinging to certainty, and the absolute conviction in one's own correctness. Dissenters are marginalized, castigated, even cast out. The psychology is identical. All that differs are the goals. Okay, well, all we have to do is look at this. It has original sin. You are male, you are original sin. If you side with men, if you side with the patriarchy, that's original sin. You're not supposed to do those things. It has the ultimate evil, men, the patriarchy. It has these things that are the elements of religion. How do you overcome? How do you be a good person in this world? You simply stand up against men. You castigate men. You want to destroy men. You want to be a boss babe. You do not want to conform to traditional values. These are all things that feminism, of course, says. And it's just obvious that it is a secular religion. Blatantly obvious. It's right in our faces. So that's why I could say this years ago. This is a religion. The article, authored by Chris Bodener, a former senior editor at The Atlantic, continued. But just as with religious extremists, feminists are fearful of what science might do to their perfect tapestry of beliefs and what it might lead to in society, even if this doesn't make any sense. It saddens me that friends I grew up with who were negatively affected by this mindset in the context of religion have traded that in for a different version. In an article published in The Cut, Nicki Minaj was quoted as saying, "I want your goal in life to be to become an entrepreneur, a rich woman, a career-driven woman. You have to be able to know what you need, know that you need no man on this planet at all, period. And he should feel that, because when a man feels that you need him, he acts differently. Yes, he acts like a loving, caring individual who wants to take care of you. Yes, there are some jackasses out there who are going to hurt you. That's illegal, stupid, and it should be illegal to hurt other people, especially physically. But I mean, if a woman came to me and is like acting like she needed me, act like really like, oh, I want to be with you. I need you. I just feel like you are an important aspect in my life. I'm going to be like, okay, cool, awesome. I want to be with you. It's better if a woman just wants me, like desperately, because needing could be like, okay, well, does she want me for me? And, does she actually like me, or does she just need me? That's where you get into the problem if you're dating. Like if you have a lot of money, well, is she dating me because I have a lot of money and she wants that and she needs that? Or is she dating because she actually likes me? Hold on, I'm looking something up here. Okay, what we have here is marriage rates and general marriage rate for males and females. 1980 to 2008, England and Wales. Okay, well, this is England and Wales. Let me see here. But you can see that it goes down a lot. Okay, I was hoping to get one for U.S. here. We got one for U.S. All right, we'll bring this one over. So the marriage rates from 1960 to 2020 went from 85 in 85.9, 86 people have 100 number of newly married people per 1,000 unmarried Americans age 15 and up. Okay, for all of those you out there who want to yell about men dating younger women, 15 years old. That's in 1960. That's not all that long ago. Not saying it's okay. Let's put this in perspective, though. People used to get married a lot younger, and it wasn't uncommon for teenagers to get married, especially teenage girls to get married. In this country's history, not all that long ago. It's down from the height of 86 out of 1,000 to 30.5, a low of 30.2 in 2020. What did the article just say? What does the article just say? Nicki Minaj says you have to be able to know that you need no man on this planet at all, period. And you should feel that. Because when a man feels he needs you, he acts differently. Yeah, he acts like he doesn't want to marry you. And if you need no man, you don't need to get married. I wonder why marriage rates are dropping, and I wonder why that's important. Marriage is the foundation of civilization. Without it, we're seeing the collapse now. A 2022 interview with Senegalese? Senegalese? I don't know what that is. Feminist okay. A lot of weird words there. I don't know what that is. Whatever this is, if you're looking at the screen, there's 4 words there that I cannot pronounce a single one of other than feminist. Feminism is my religion. Likewise described, feminism is a belief system guiding moral and personal choices. In other words, you're stupid. To me, feminism is definitely beyond belief. Gassama, that's one of the words I couldn't pronounce up there, said, it's a vision and a value system. In the same way some people are religious, I can say feminism is my religion. Everything I do, whenever I have to decide between A or B, I ask myself, are my values going to be respected? Am I going to be able to look at myself in the mirror in the same way? In 2022, Medium published an article titled Women Don't Need Men, and it's breaking the manosphere. It's breaking civilization. I don't care if it's breaking the manosphere. It's breaking civilization. Authored by Oceani, who wrote, studies show single, childless women to be the happiest. Women no longer need a man to make a living or have kids. They have been doing it all on their own for a while. They're the happiest. How come we see such a rise in SSRI use amongst women especially? And we see the chart where women's happiness has dropped significantly since 1970. It's like half of what it was in 1970 on average. Gress argues that feminism sells women a false promise, which is that their greatest fulfillment lies in autonomy, careerism, and detachment from family. Yeah, how is that a good thing for you? You want to be detached from family? How is that a good thing for anyone? How does that make you happy? How does it make you happy to not, come home to a house? Imagine yourself at 60 years old and you come home from running some errands and you hear screaming kids in your house and you open the door and there's 3 little kids that run up to you yelling grandma. And your daughter's there with her husband and they're like, hey, Mom, it's so great to see you. We haven't seen you in a week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever. And we just came over to say hi and, the grandkids miss you. I can think of something better than that, yes, but I'm a man, so it's different for me. What is it that you want as a woman that you would not get out of that scenario? You really think that a lot of money is the key to that? Is going to replace that feeling you're going to get when one of your children brings over her grandchildren and her husband or her spouse, his spouse, whatever, and they all are happy to see you and they all want to spend time with you and they all are glad that you're in their life? We're seeing a loneliness epidemic across the board. It's not just men, it's not just women, it's everybody. Everybody's having more difficulty making friends. You think your friends are going to be a replacement when you're 60? A good replacement for grandkids? I don't know. I mean, I don't have any kids, so maybe I'm talking out my ass. But it seems to me that most women would appreciate that more than $1 million in the bank, $20 million in the bank, $40 million in the bank, whatever. So feminism has created an idol, which is, of course, female autonomy. Gress said it's taught women and continues to tell women that our greatest happiness and our fulfillment is going to come when we are living by and for ourselves, when we're not married or marriage isn't really the center of our life, as well as our children, that those things are actually obstacles to the happiness that we're going to find in a career. Yeah, okay, here, I don't have a job anymore. My confession here for you. I don't have a job. I lost my job in the end of August. I'm happier now that I don't have a job, honestly, to tell you the truth. How am I going to make money, you might be thinking? Aren't you worried about that? There are ways of getting money that I know of that I've been using. Everything is fine. Don't worry. I'll be around for a while. But I don't want to have to go to some place where they're breathing on my neck. And that's what that job felt like to me. I enjoy what I do, but the management was just too strict, too harsh, too authoritarian. I don't want that. According to Gress, feminism also diminished the cultural value of children by framing them as impediments to productivity. No, children are your productivity. Children are your goal. You might think, well, that's only going to be 20, 25 years of my life. If I'm really lucky, I could stretch it out to 30 years of my life raising kids. What am I going to do then? Well, most people retire after 30 years, or 35 years, right? So, there you go. You got that going for you. Now, the sad part is, of course, that women are really made for relationships, Gress said. They're made to love others, and we can see that this desire to love and to mother others hasn't evaporated. It's just shifted to another place, and this is why we see so much of a boom in the pet industry. Women are just choosing to nurture pets in a way that they in the past would nurture their children and focus on their family. Yeah, fur babies. They're called fur babies, right? She added, women have been targeted with this idea so that we will be angry and will be more politically helpful. And you can see this. I think any of the women's movements, these are not movements or events that are showing happy, healthy, thriving women, but they really embody a kind of anger, rage, envy, contempt. All those things are sort of shot through the movement at this point. Yeah, and I mean, women, we can see it online. Women are just going on and on and on about how men are so evil. It's just terrible. They're always like, oh, I don't want to date this guy. I met this guy on this dating app, and I think he's a Trumpy because he said he's politically neutral. I said he's not involved in politics. No, he's a Trumper. What's this guy got for me? And it's so ridiculous. And they're all chasing after the top 10% of men. And they don't want the top 1% of men. And I understand that mentality. You want to get the best that you can get. But if 100 women are chasing after one, you're not only going to get him. He's going to choose the best 10%, maybe the best 20% out of those 100 women, and be like, these are mine. The rest of you get out of here. And then what the rest of you going to do? You're going to move on to the next one. Like, oh, he's a 1%er, go get him. And you're ruining your chances of finding a good relationship. But you don't need that. You don't care anymore. You want a good career. That's what's gonna solve all your problems. Money in the bank. I don't need a man. I got money in the bank. Really? Are you happy? Do you want to feel connected to another human being? Do you want to have great sex? Some women do. Some women are into the sex. Some women do want to have a loving relationship. Those are usually the ones who are into sex too. Just so you know, guys. Gress believes that reversing feminist cultural trends requires restoring the traditional roles of men and women, not rigidly, but purposefully. Probably rigidly is going to be necessary. Sorry to tell you. It's really the restoration of womanhood and helping women see that Gress said. And I think that is really where it's going to help men too, because we're going to get men back to understanding what their purpose is. And when both roles understand their purpose, not that they're fixed or that there's not some overlap, but when a couple comes together and is working towards a common goal instead of working against each other, that's really where you see major gains happen in the family and in the culture and, ultimately in civilization. Oh, we have comments. D.W. Hudson says, I delight in women knowing they aren't men. I think it a puzzling when they believe they need to be like men or act like men or that we don't need each other. We're different and it's wonderful. Exactly. My 2 cents worth 626 says, men have just about had enough of this. You can feel it. Women, whether they want it or not, have a biological clock. Those who ignore it can be successful in the business world, for sure. But the ones I know seem pretty hollow when the working life is over. Yeah, men have had it, and we're probably going to stand up and be like, look, this is the way it's going to be. We're going to have to reverse some laws here, and women are no longer going to be in politics. Sorry, that's just how it's going to be. If you want to have a state that says, yeah, you can be in politics in my state, but you can't go to the federal level. Sorry, there's none of that. And there's only certain jobs that women can hold. Why? Well, because we want you in only certain jobs, and we need you to be more dependent on men so that people can get married and have babies. Focus on family first. If you don't have a job, that's secondary. Tertiary, really, because you got to focus on your husband, too. See here, Lakota53 says, Christianity is certainly under attack these days, which is sad because it represents at its best faith, hope, and love in great abundance. Yeah, it does that. A lot of comments here. Show more comments. What the heck? There's a lot of comments here. Echoes of Mercy says, you have to be able to know that you need no man on this planet at all, period. And he should feel that, because when a man feels that you need him, he acts differently. Okay, that was the quote from Nicki Minaj. I hate to sound like Barbra Streisand, but people do need people. Men need women and women need men. Yeah, in general. We all, no person is a monolith. Maybe there's some homesteader out there who's killing it, and that's it. Although I don't know how he gets money, because you're probably going to need money at some point for something. I don't know. Yeah, people are pack animals, We're always going to need other people. Anyway, thanks all for watching. I'll see you in the next video.